Joy Anderson, and this is The Observer and the Oracle. Welcome to my channel. Hello. Um, so welcome to the Great Conjunction. Exciting. I was watching it on live because I took a nap earlier and I totally I missed it. so I'm very grateful that I was able to see it on YouTube because that was pretty awesome. How cool is that? Um, just to experience something like that. Like these past couple of months, um, I've really been trying to focus on just creating space, finding my own peace and happiness, and um, pretty much making my way towards that. Because, well, if you don't know, I am a Libra sun, a Scorpio moon, and rising, and I have Pluto in my 12th house. And then my Chiron is in my 8th house. So, what that means is that, well, I mean, there's no way easy, there's no I go through a lot of shit. um, and so, like, thinking about what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do this, um, it really came down to what is most authentic to me. Now, so for the past 13 years, I have been on a journey. And you can call it a spiritual journey, you can call it on whatever you want, but I like to call it, it's at the point where I realized that I needed to do something to change my life and heal the experiences that I was going through, which a lot of them were quite painful. If you know anyone with a Scorpio rising, they tend to go through a lot of things in life. Um, just a lot of experiences that are meant to teach them how to grow. Now, if you look, um, astrologers will tell you, it's where the spirit and the ego are at war. So to transform that, they battle it out and then the ego dies. Well, it's it's repetitious. It's cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle. So I have had to restart my life over and over and over again, um, with painful endings and having to move through that experience. I would have not survived. Um, I would not have survived if I wouldn't have found some type of stability. And for me, it's my spirituality and what I do, and it's day in, day out. For the past 12, 13 years, I've been nonstop focused on just healing and coming into acceptance, surrendering to my experiences, going deep into my pain, And it's it's been a journey. It's been exciting, that's for damn sure. It's not anything boring, but it's definitely not flowers and cookies and rainbows and clouds, and it's just not that. If you know anything about Pluto and what it represents the underworld. So, um, when we talk about pain and trauma and these things, that's typically where we keep, or how I experience the underworld. Um, and basically, that's just me going down to like a memory that I have and pulling it up to see what I feel from it, and looking at it and seeing, okay, well, what has this taught me? What does this teach me about myself? And so, like, there's a lot of chaos in the world, and a lot of people are going through transitions and transformations and losing jobs. And all of that is a part of transformation. Um, so like, and like when people go through those experiences, they don't necessarily know like what's happening. Like, if you find yourself saying, why does this always happen to me? It's probably because it's like something you need to look at. And um like I'm like I laugh through the pain. Like I've always like laughed through it because it's just like it's a reoccurring thing for me, and I'm just like, well, that's life. But um it's it's been such a blessing to go through and heal my trauma through all these years. And if I was ever going to teach anything, and it was going to be completely authentic to like who I am, that's the experience that this is what I do when I go to bed. This is what I do when I wake up in the morning. It doesn't ever stop. And so um I'd like to share that with you guys. So, okay. Um so because I am a Scorpio rising and a Scorpio moon, um, and all the loveliness of Scorpio, uh, because if you ever look about it, it will tell you that like Scorpios are super secretive. They hide everything. um, and for Scorpio rising, they're like alluring. So like you notice them when they walk into the room, all that jazz. Um, which is true. And then I'd like to explain it from like my point of view is that um like I just don't talk about it with people. I just don't talk about my pain and the things that I experience with people, because when I do, they're usually like their eyes are like really wide, and they're like, "Oh, it's a lot to take in." Okay. um it is a lot to take in. So, the reason why I wanted to do this was to basically connect with everyone through my pain. So, like, it's super uncomfortable for me to be on camera and talk about it because that's just, we're going to go through why. Um, but I wanted to do this with my own flair because, like, pain is something that's super personal. Um, we have a lot of triggers. And when we talk about pain, it's something that we have to be gentle about. Now, because I specialize in pain management for massage therapy. Um, I've worked with people in car accidents. I specialize with people that have paralysis and helping them get through their pain. Um, so, what I've learned from muscles in the body and what they've taught me is that you can go full force. um, because what happens is when the body experiences trauma, it actually tightens up and creates a shield. So, to be able to make the muscle pliable, you have to go in gently and massage that muscle like effleurage to let that muscle open up and let you know that it's okay to go in and work deeper into the deeper tissues. So, we're going to keep it pretty surface today. Um, I don't know. I would like to call this series The Guide into the Underworld because that's pretty much where I go to shine light on my own personal darkness. And that is the purpose of my videos from now on, and my channel is to help you shine light on your darkness and be able to transform it into something different. Um, Now, this is just like any of my clients that have gotten a massage, like, I cannot stress the exercises that are so important because, like, if you, like, the reason why you feel pain, like muscle pain in your body, because something is overstretched. So when you put it back together and transform it back to where the muscle is supposed to be, you have to do certain exercises to help you along the way. And those exercises are up to you. Like, I know a lot of people love like binary beats, and like working through affirmations, and I think all of that is like super cool. Um it's just not something that ever helped me really get to the depth or the core or the root of my issues. So, like, I think anything, like, I always tell my clients, like, anything you do today that you do differently than you did yesterday will help. Um, but it is about repetition. It is about um, becoming aware of what your pain is and what your triggers are and how you experience pain. So, to start this off, I decided, because I do love to write, that I was going to do a poem for experiences that I have experienced. Um, I wanted to do this because it does create some type of like mystery around the experiences, because I don't I don't want this to become about the people that I've experienced things with. I want it to be from like the most authentic place, without blame, without shame, without any of that, because we're going to dive into those things, and it's not to be projected out at anyone. And I really want everyone to like understand that this process is about self. It's not about finding your twin flame or your true love. It's about you. um which is also like, it's about you finding the way to tap into your own fears, your own traumas, your own pain, to bring them up to the surface, to look at them and examine them and heal them. Because we are in a time where everyone is so busy pointing fingers that really it's that's not going to help anybody. It's not. um and so like, this is about self. Okay, so a little bit about my poetry. It is a little Edgar Allan Poe-ish. So because we are talking about the dark, and so as we go in, it's meant to trigger you, and it's meant to stir feelings in you, because a lot what we do with pain is we ignore it. And so that's not what we're doing here. Okay. So here we go. Fast asleep I wake up from my bed, as knots in my stomach turn with a feeling of dread. Familiar voices shouting down the hall. No one was watching. They didn't see me at all. Hands raised high, red marks appear. Silent I stand, paralyzed in fear. I wish I could save you, but the innocence within me doesn't know how to. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. And scene. Okay, so um, what this means to me, and it actually has everything to do with what I'm doing today, is that um, ever since I was little, I've had this fear of being seen, a fear that I was going to be seen and get hurt, fear that I was going to go through something bad. So, like, throughout my life, like, the times that I did allow myself to be seen, um, typically, like, it's always like when I stood up for people, um, that just they didn't feel that they had a voice in that moment. I've either gotten fired or I've gotten promoted. Um, so that's always been fun. um, but this really is one of my first memories that I have about being afraid, and just having fear. So when it comes to this, and when it comes to like doing homework, we're just going to stay on the surface so far. And I think it's important just, you know, because depending on where you are, like if you, I mean, my whole life has been like a dark night of the soul, but if you've gone through a few and you have your own techniques and you want to go deeper, that's fine. Um, but for of for those of you that have not really had any type of experience in working with traumas or fears or anything like that, I want you to think back to your first memory and allow yourself where you did feel fear and allow yourself to feel that. Um, and what does that feel like to you? And what you do with that now, you can write it into something like I what I did. I love poetry. I love writing. Or you can channel it into something. So like say you go through an experience and like what comes up is anger. Well, anger is a beautiful thing to channel. And it's actually quite liberating. So like you can put it into, I love listening to death metal, so when I have anger come up, I put on death metal or like whatever your rage music is. So you can do that. You can also like, because I'm going to teach a class on how to have a rage day and like to go in to that. Um, like batting cages are great. Like I know COVID's going on, so it's like um, you can go outside and like not to other people. Like I cannot stress that enough. But like you can like beat an old table or beat a old TV with a baseball bat, like whatever, just as long as like it's not anyone else's. Um I'd like to stress that. But um we're going to start with allowing yourself to feel these emotions. Now, we're not going quite into the underworld yet, but we're going to bring up emotions that live there. And that is the point, because we've internalized feelings for so long that it's just like um we're wreaking havoc on each other. So like for me, this is also part of my exercise for myself, because I have this fear of being seen, but not only that, like I also have this fear of um or not this okay, so it's like more of like a repeating pattern of trying to help people. Because of this memory, I always want to help the victim. I always want to help people that are going through situations and stand up for them. And a huge part of this is that I can't always help people because I have to help myself. Um, and I think that's a big lesson that a lot of people go through, because we spend so much time sacrificing ourselves um, for other people, to help other people, to fix other people's problems. And this is my way of showing you how to fix yourself, if that makes sense. Not that you're broken, but there may be some feelings inside that do cause disruption, and you may be reliving and replaying out childhood wounds, and you may not understand why. So, that is my video for today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Um, you know, if you did enjoy it and you are interested in more, you can always subscribe. I do have a contribution PayPal. If you are interested, you don't have to, but if you're interested, it is there. And so I'm excited for this video. And then the next one we do, and we're just gonna go deeper and deeper and deeper into the subconscious and explore the realm of Pluto and being able to heal reoccurring patterns in ourselves. So, that's that for today. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely day. And thank you for watching. Okay, bye now.